Hello there. We've been talking about defense. The last 2 weeks, we talked about opening lead versus defense, opening lead versus a no trump contract, opening lead versus a suit contract. The guidelines are very similar. Today, we're going to talk about when partners on opening lead, what card should you play from your hand in order to give partner information that may be helpful to the defense? So I will go ahead and share my screen. And the basic idea is that sometimes when partner makes an opening lead, you think, hey, this is a great idea. Please continue that suit. And sometimes you think, hey, partner, that suit seems bad to me. You're not allowed to say things out loud at the table of this type, but what you can do is try to convey that message to partner by the card that you play on the trick that partner led to. If you think that the suit is a good idea, you try to throw a high spot card. So maybe you have the 2 and the 3 and the 7. You will play the 7. High number means, hey, I like it. If your hand suggests that that suit is a bad thing to pursue, then you'll play a low spot card. So again, if you had the 3, 6, and 7, you'd play the 3. So this is 90% of today's presentation right here. Where are we? 2 weeks on opening lead. Now we're going to talk about attitude signals. And after 24 weeks, we start again because that's how we learn. So today, attitude signals on defense. On defense, the only legal way to communicate with your partner is via the cards that you play. And that is called signaling. And I encourage you to develop the habit of signaling now. It's really essential to becoming a strong defender. And my observation is that if people don't develop the habit of signaling early in their bridge career, it's hard to add it later. Defense is the hardest thing in bridge. When we're bidding, everybody sees his or her hand, but nobody else's hand. So nobody has an advantage. But once the bidding is finished and the play starts, declarer can see her hand and dummy, and she can coordinate the play of those hands. And she usually has most of the high card points because that's how they were able to bid so high. And she chose the trump suit or chose to play in no trump. And these are huge advantages. On defense, you can see only your own cards. You can see dummy after dummy comes down on the opening lead, but you can't see partner's hand and you can't coordinate the play of the cards in your two hands. So you would like to coordinate with partner on defense. And the question is how? And the answer is your only legal method of communication is by the cards you play, which again is called signaling. We'll look at a whole bunch of examples today. A quick reminder, opening leads versus a suit contract. We love to lead a singleton. If we're leading partner suit, there's some guidelines. If you lead your suit, there are some guidelines. I encourage you, I hate memorization. I don't think this is too much to memorize. I encourage you to make these very, very habitual. Today, what we're going to do is talk about how to signal when partner leads the top of a sequence versus a suit contract. So partner's on opening lead and leads the ace, promising the king, or leads the king, promising the queen. Is there information that you can give partner that will help the defense? Here's motivation. Partner is on lead versus a spade contract, chooses to lead the ace of hearts. Their opening lead of the ace promises the king. We don't lead unsupported aces. Dummy comes down with 3 small hearts, and now it's your turn to play to the trick. After partner wins the ace, how does partner know whether to continue with the king or whether to switch to something else? Well, you can try and give partner information to help with that decision. So let's look at this example. Partner leads the ace of hearts. You know that partner has the king, and you're looking at the queen. You think it's a great idea to continue this suit. If you do, in this case, you'll take the first 3 tricks. You think it's a great idea to continue. Here's a different example. Everything's the same except I swapped the queen of hearts out of your hand and into declarers. Now, when partner leads the ace of hearts, you're not sure if it's a good idea to continue. In fact, if you look at this hand, if partner continues the king, it will set up declarer's queen. But if partner switches suits, later you can lead a heart through declarer's queen and partner can take 2 tricks. two additional tricks instead of just one. So in this case, you're thinking it's not such a good idea. How do you tell these things to partner? And the answer is the card you play. In the first example, you'll play the 8, not the 3, and your high spot card is telling partner, hey, I think it's a good idea to continue. On the second hand, you'll play the 3. That's a low spot card, and you're telling partner, I don't think it's a good idea to continue. So this is the story today. We'll look at it in more detail. We want to build the habit of signaling. This is the same example. Partner leads the ace of hearts against a spade contract. Dummy comes down. And now we're going to look at your hand. Case one, you have the queen of hearts and a couple more. You know that partner has the king. It seems like a great idea to continue with ace, king, lead over to your queen. Maybe you can take 3 immediate tricks. You know partner has the king. You think it's a great idea to continue, so you play the 8. That's a high spot card, and it encourages continuation of the suit. Let's look at the second example from the previous page. Now you know partner has the king, but you're not so sure about hearts. If declarer has the queen and partner continues with the king, maybe it sets up declarer's queen. So you want to tell partner that you're not so sure about hearts. You play the 3. A low spot card will discourage continuation. Very important, your signal is merely information from your point of view. It's not a command. If partner has the ace, king, queen, she's going to continue this suit even though you thought it wasn't such a good idea. But if she has only the ace, king, she needs your help to know whether to continue with the king or whether to change to a different suit. Really important. You must build the habit of signaling. You must build the habit. Again, my observation is if this habit isn't built early, it's really hard to add it later. So every time partner makes an opening lead of an honor versus a suit contract, you should decide, do I think this suit looks good or do I think this suit looks bad? And try to convey that to partner. Another important habit is to play high-low with a doubleton. Let me show you an example. Partner leads the ace of hearts against a spade contract. They're promising the king of hearts, and you have the 8-3. Do you want to encourage or discourage? And the answer is you want to encourage. Why? Because you can see the future. Partner wins the ace, then partner wins her king, and then she leads another one, and you can ruff it. So you play the 8. Encouraging partner. Maybe this is the layout, ace, king, and a small heart that you ruff, and declarer's good queen goes away. If you had had the queen, you would have also played the 8 to encourage, and you guys could have taken the first couple 3 heart tricks. Again, the important point here is with a doubleton, you go high-low. The high card looks encouraging. Partner doesn't know if you have the queen or if you have a doubleton. The partner will continue the suit and play another one, and then you'll find out. Partner will find out. So in this case, ace, king, and you ruff declares good queen. Message here is when you're holding 2 cards in the suit partner leads an honor, play the higher than the lower. It's called a high-low. When you play the 8 in this situation, it's encouraging. Partner doesn't know if you're showing the queen or starting a high-low, but you've encouraged her to continue in either case. And in this example, she continues with the king and then gives you a ruff. So summary, on opening lead, when partner leads an honor, we're really going to focus on suit contracts here. Honor leads against no trump are much more rare. When partner leads an honor against a suit contract, you want to play a high spot card to say, keep it coming, and a low spot card to say, from my point of view, not such a good idea. And one implication of this is when you have exactly 2 cards in the suit, you play high, then low, and partner will be encouraged to continue the suit, give you a ruff. How do you incorporate this into your game? You signal every single time on partner's opening lead of an honor card. It's really important to build the habit. It's hard to add this habit later. Then you start watching for partner signals. If partner is signaling every time, you'll start watching for those signals. You'll see them, Eventually, you and partner will start acting on the signals. It takes a little while to build this into your game at Trick One on defense, but once you do, you'll absolutely love it. Why do you have to build the habit of signaling every time? If you don't do it every time, partner will not learn to look for your signals. If you casually discard without thinking on or follow suit on the first trick without thinking, partner may read the signal, do what partner thinks you're suggesting, and then find out that your signal was not what you meant to say. And vice versa. If partner is not signaling every time, you won't get the positive feedback about how wonderfully helpful it is. So signal every time, start watching for partner signals. Eventually, you'll start seeing them and you'll act on them. We'll look at a whole bunch of examples of that today. This evolution does take a while. It is fabulous once you get used to it. Cooperating on defense, to me, is probably the most fun and amazing thing in bridge. The examples I gave previously, partner led an ace. Signals are not limited to when partner leads an ace. It's really any time that partner leads an honor card against a suit contract. So partner leads the king of diamonds here. It's a four-heart contract. Partner leads the king of diamonds. Partner's promising the queen. Well, look at your hand. You've got the jack. So you've got the king, queen, jack that you can play on three separate tricks. Maybe you can knock out the ace and then take two more tricks. So what you want to do is encourage partner to continue that suit. Dummy's probably going to win the ace, but then partner may get in later, and partner needs to know what suit to continue. So in this case, we would play the 8 to encourage. Your jack means it's safe for partner to continue diamonds later. And in fact, it's attacking. It's a way you might take some tricks. So let partner know that you think she should continue diamonds when she gets a chance. Let's look at some examples when you're the one who's doing the signaling. In all cases, it'll be a four-spade contract. Partner leads the ace of hearts, and you have the doubleton 8-3. You know partner has the king. You want partner to play ace, king, and lead another one for you to ruff. So you play the 8 to encourage. Remember, high spot encourages, low spot discourages. Let's change your hand a little bit. Partner leads the ace of hearts. You don't see any reason to continue the heart suit. So you will play the 3 to discourage. If partner happens to have ace, king, queen, she'll just keep playing ace, king, queen. But if all she has is ace, king, maybe she'll switch to another suit. We looked at examples earlier when that was really important. Partner leads the ace of hearts. You have queen and 2 small. Again, we're defending a spade contract. You think it's a great idea to continue the heart suit. You know partner has the king. You've got the queen. So you play the 8 to encourage. Partner leads the king of hearts. They didn't lead the ace this time. They led the king. That promises the queen. You're looking at the jack. You think it's a great idea to continue this suit. You want to keep banging away, see if you can take some tricks. Play the 8 to encourage. Partner leads the queen of hearts, promising the jack. You have 8-4-3. You don't see any particular reason to continue this suit, so you play the 3, saying, from my perspective, I'd like to discourage you. If partner has a queen, jack, 10-9, maybe she'll keep playing him later. Partner leads the queen, promising the jack. This time you have the king 8-3. So between you and partner, you have the king, queen, jack. You want to keep attacking this suit. You want to tell partner, hey, I like it. This is a great idea. You play the 8, the high spot card to encourage. Let's kind of turn things around. This time you're the one on lead and you're going to have to read partner's signal. Again, four spade contract. You're on lead. You decide to lead the heart suit. You're going to lead the king of hearts, promising the queen. Partner plays the 8. Partner is encouraging. At least it looks like partner is encouraging. Maybe partner has the jack. Maybe partner has the ace. Maybe partner has a doubleton. Regardless, you want to follow partner's advice and continue the suit. This time you have the ace, king of hearts. You're going to lead hearts. You lead the ace of hearts. Partner plays the 2. Well, that looks like a discouraging signal, and you do not want to continue hearts. If you had ace, king, queen, jack, or ace, king, queen, yeah, you'd play another round of hearts and see what you learn, see how many tricks you can take. You're on lead, decide to lead your heart suit against the 4 spade contract. You lead the queen of spades. Partner plays the 5. What do we do? How do we read that signal? Is partner suggesting we continue or is partner not? Well, it depends what you see in dummy. If you see the 4-3-2 in dummy, partner's pretty clearly discouraging. But if you see maybe the 10-9 and no small cards in dummy, then it looks like partner must be playing her highest available spot card. Sometimes you have to be a little creative in reading the signal. So you have to look at the context, look at your hand, look at what you can see in dummy, even look at what declarer plays to the first trick if it's a small card. Gives you a lot of information about what partner's trying to tell you. You're on lead, you lead the ace of hearts. Partner plays the 2, again, discouraging. Well, heck, I'm going to continue. Partner had no idea that I had the queen. So I'm going to see if I can take a couple of more heart tricks. Partner's signal is not a command. It's information based on what partner knows. If you, on opening lead, know more, just go ahead and act. Punchline, signal your attitude when partner leads an honor. Do you like the suit? Do you think partner should maybe switch suits? Defense is a team effort, and you want to give your opinion to partner. The usual agreement is that a high spot card, and that's what we do in Planet Bridge, a high spot card encourages continuation of the suit, and a low spot card discourages continuation of the suit from your perspective. This is called standard signals. Some people play upside down and reverse the meanings. I don't recommend that you do that. In theory, it's slightly better, but I think high and low is much easier to remember. And if you're playing with somebody with whom you haven't discussed signals, the likelihood is they're thinking this way. Again, if you have a doubleton, you want to play high-low to tell your partner you have exactly 2. Again, we looked at examples. Partner leads the ace, you play the 8. It's encouraging. Partner continues with the king and you play the 3. Partner doesn't know if you have the queen or if you're void. But in either case, partner is going to continue the suit and it'll be good for your side. Partner can usually figure out high versus low by looking at the cards in your hand as dummy. I talked about this on the last page. Sometimes you may play a 5 as a high encouraging signal because that's all you have. Sometimes it may be a low discouraging signal if that's all you have. If partner can see the 4-3-2 and you've played the 5, it's pretty clearly low. But if partner sees in her hand and the dummy the 9-7-6, but not the 4-3-2, then it looks like you were choosing to play a high spot card given the limitations in your hand. So it takes a little thinking. You won't always get it right. It's impossible to always get it right. Partner and I certainly don't. Sometimes, building on the last page, partner must look closely to see your signal. So the opponent's contract is 4 hearts. Partner led the ace of diamonds, promising the king. Which card do you play? Well, again, you can see the future. If partner starts ace, king, and another diamond, you can rough it. And dummy's queen is going to be good, but you're going to rough it. So again, you can see the future. You want ace of diamonds, king of diamonds, and another diamond for you to rough. So play the 5 to encourage. Hopefully, partner will figure out that the 5 is a high card from your perspective. Maybe partner's holding was ace, king, 10, 9, 8, and she sees the 7-6 in dummy. Well, heck, the 5 is the largest card out there and largest spot card. And so partner is clear. You're clearly trying to encourage partner. Partner will go ahead and cash the king. You'll finish your high-low, and then partner will lead another diamond and you'll rough. Defense is so much fun. So reminder, when you have a doubleton, play high-low. Summary of attitude signals on opening lead. When partner leads an honor, specifically against a suit contract, play a high spot card to encourage continuing the suit and a low spot card to discourage. Usually looking at your hand, you'll have an idea of whether from your perspective it's good to continue or not good to continue, and you try to send that message to partner. If you have exactly 2 cards in the suit, and this is a suit contract, you play high-low, you want to encourage so the partner will continue, and then you can rough. How do you incorporate this into your game? I mentioned this before. Signal every single time. Partner opening lead is an honor against a suit contract. You signal. You look at your hand, make a decision, and signal. Partner won't at first see the signals every time, But eventually, partner will start watching for the signals, and you'll start watching for partner signals. And eventually, both of you will see them and you will act on them. There's an exception. Um, I'm hesitated about putting this into the presentation, but suppose partner leads the ace, promising the king, and you happen to have queen and one small doubleton. Ugh. Most people will agree to play the small card, not the queen, because the queen is too valuable to throw away and waste. Will partner continue the suit? Maybe, maybe not. Depends what's in her hand. But this is the general guideline. Your discards should show attitude. You don't have to restrict this idea of communicating to partner to the opening lead. Suppose declarer South is calling trump. You've run out of trump. South has led the king, partner wins the ace, and you have to discard. Well, what suit would you like partner to lead? Well, you're looking at dummy and you're looking at your hand, and you'd love for partner to lead a heart through dummy. You really want partner to lead a heart toward your jaws, and you can see the kings in dummy. So discard the seven of hearts. Don't throw the two of hearts. The two of hearts is a small heart. It would say, I'm not excited about hearts. The seven of hearts will probably be read as a high spot card, encouraging you to switch to the heart suit. Signaling like this with practice is really easy, and it can really help your team's defense. Side comment, typically a low discard says, I'm not interested in this suit. So you could throw the two of diamonds to send the same message. Let's imagine you had the ace, queen, three, two of hearts. Well, you could throw the three as your highest spot card, but it might be really hard for partner to read that. So instead, you could throw the two of diamonds and say, I'm not excited about diamonds. And kind of by default, partner will go ahead and lead the heart that you want. So here are the situations in addition to opening lead where you can signal attitude and help partner know what to do. We just looked at number one. Declarer is playing a suit, typically calling trump, maybe taking tricks in a side suit, and you've run out, and so you need to throw away a card. You need to play a card from some other suit. What you can do is discard a high spot card in a suit you want partner to lead, or a low spot card in a suit you don't want partner to lead. Sometimes partner starts a new suit in the middle of the hand by playing an honor. So partner's on lead in the middle of the hand and plays the king of a suit, promising the queen. Just like when partner makes an opening lead, you can play a high spot card to encourage and a low spot card to discourage. So these are the two other situations in addition to opening lead where you can give an attitude signal that can be very helpful to partner and to your defense. So what's the 10% to remember? If partner makes an honor card opening lead against a suit contract, a high card from you encourages continuation, and a low card discourages continuation. Also, sometimes partner leads an honor in the middle of a hand to start a new suit. Again, high from you will encourage, throw the seven. A low card, throw the three, will discourage partner to continue the suit. And finally, sometimes when you're discarding in the middle of the hand, you can send a message. We looked at that with the example of you liked hearts. You throw a high spot card in a suit you want or a low spot card in a suit you don't want. Signal every time. Start watching for partner signals, and eventually you'll see the signals and you'll act on them, as will partner. And it's incredibly fun and incredibly rewarding when it works. Later on, you can add count signals and suit preference signals. These are beyond the scope of Planet Bridge, but eventually you'll want to adopt those as well. So today we'll do some best eBridge exercises on attitude signals, and then we will go to our breakout rooms. Caveat, we'll be sitting two people at each table because we want one person to lead and one person to signal. So the signaler sends a message and the leader will read the message. This will provide, I'm sorry, this is a a little noisy at the table. If there's two people at every table instead of one versus three robots, sometimes people start talking to each other. What did you mean by that? Just be really conscious of noise and distractions. I do want to go through a few additional slides that I won't have time to do in the Tuesday presentation. I'm not going to go through this slide in detail, but I really encourage you to look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. We want these things to become a reflex. These are guidelines, not guarantees, but they're good guidelines and they're the agreements that we want to stick with. If you've got the ace, king, queen, 7-3-2 of a suit, don't lead the queen. Partner will think you have the jack and not the king. Lead the ace, and that tells partner you have the king. So don't make kind of random leads. Stick to your agreements. Let's look at another example. The opponent's contract is 4 hearts, and partner leads the ace of diamonds, which promises the king. You're looking at your hand. You can see dummy, partner can see dummy, so she can make this decision probably on her own. But if she plays the king, it will now establish or set up dummy's queen. You want to play the 2, saying discouraging. If you had a doubleton, you would play high-low, and partner would play ace-king and give you a ruff. But you don't want partner to play the king because it'll set up the queen. Maybe this is the full diamond layout. What's really interesting here is declarer had only 1 diamond. So if partner continues with the king, declarer can ruff it, and then the queen of diamonds is good. But if partner changes suit, declarer can never get a trick with the queen of diamonds. That's why signaling is so important. Another example, you're on lead versus a spade contract. And let's look only at the heart suit. So you're the one on lead, you lead the ace of hearts. Partner knows you have the king. Dummy comes down and partner plays the 3. What do we know about partner's hand? Partner does not have a doubleton because partner would have played high-low. So partner also doesn't have the queen. I mean, I guess she could have queen small, but partner does not have the queen. So partner has either exactly 1 heart or she has 3 or more hearts, but doesn't have the queen. Okay, so what should we do? Well, if partner has exactly 1 heart, we'd like to win the king and then give her a ruff. And if she has 3, well, let's think about it for a minute. If partner has 3 or more without the queen and declarer played the 8, we know declarer has the queen because partner would have encouraged. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, declarer must have exactly 2 hearts. And if any of these cases are true, you want to continue with the king. So partner gave a discouraging signal, but it was still enough for you to figure out what to do. Partner's signal is not an order, it's information you can use. Defense is all about thinking and analyzing situations. Sometimes, usually, there's incomplete information. I often do an analysis on defense and make a play that turns out to be bad. But the more you think on defense, the more likely you are to make a play that's good. And one more slide, really cool example. South opens a spade. They're playing 4 spades, and you lead the ace of hearts, and partner plays the 8. That's clearly an encouraging signal. So what do we want to be thinking? What's going on? Partner is saying, I have the queen of hearts. Why do we know that? Well, if it were the top of a doubleton, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, declarer would have 6 hearts. I don't think declarer has a 6-card heart suit. So partner's saying she has the queen. So let's shift our thinking. When declarer gets in, what's going to happen? She's going to call trump. She has 5 spades. And she's going to run that beautiful club suit, and she's going to throw away any losers she has on that fabulous club suit. Your only hope to set the contract is to take two tricks in hearts and two tricks in diamonds right now before um, declarer gets in and takes control. Well, what's going to happen if you continue with the king of hearts? Well, that's your second trick. But then you're going to have to start the diamond suit. Here's the problem. You see 13 high card points in dummy, 13 high card points in your hand. I don't think it's very possible for partner to have the king of diamonds. Declarer has the king of diamonds. So if you start the diamond suit, declarer is going to win her king. If you play the ace, her king is good. If you play small, it rides around to her king. The only way for you to get two diamond tricks is if partner leads diamonds through declarer's king. Well, heck, how can you get partner to lead diamonds? Partner has the queen of hearts. Instead of cashing your king of hearts, let's lead a small heart over to partner's queen. And now partner is going to be looking at a void in hearts in dummy and is clearly going to switch to diamonds. And partner will lead a diamond through and you'll win your ace and your queen. Defense is super hard. It's super fun. And on the occasion that you can actually execute something like this, it's just thrilling, literally thrilling. So that's the story. Hope you enjoyed and see you next week.